within this wonderful Eucharist of bread and wine, we come nearer to the very presence of God in his beautiful Son, our Saviour. And as we're seeking to draw nearer to receiving Jesus afresh and anew this Christmas tide, so this service reminds us so very much that that wonderful presence is here within this service, and we receive it every time we come to the Eucharist. The newborn child really is, as they say, every day, not once a year. And the Eucharist reminds us so much of Christ's precious presence and vulnerability in bread and wine, which we receive here this morning, and then leave to take it out to share with other people, not to keep it to ourselves. We are blessed to be blessed to other people. The catering team have asked me to apologise that the last time I was here, the bacon, brie and cranberry toasties were unavailable, but they are very happy for me to say that after the service today, there will be smokies. Unfortunately, Partick Thistle lost yesterday in our broth, but not to worry, not to worry. So the smokies this morning will be a small compensation. I'm sure we've all been to our broth and had a smoky, and we've all possibly popped into that Italian ice cream shop as well. So if you don't like smokies this morning, the catering team are providing ice cream as well. Really, the catering team at St. James's is second to none. If we were to gather all of our readings into one, we might possibly ponder this morning that we are remembering that it is and we receive God's provision. God's provision in our lives comes in so many wonderful, wonderful ways, but particularly at this moment of Christmas tide, our preparedness, sharing so many wonderful things of food and present giving. But God's provision comes to us through other people too, through our families and friends and neighbours. Ultimately, all the wonderful things we have in life are given to us by God. And God only asks us to be thankful. And one of the most wonderful ways of being thankful for God's provision is saying grace before our meals. It's very simple, but it does make the food always taste a little bit better, I feel. But that's very personal. But saying grace is something that I learned at a very early age. I might have mentioned before that I used to visit as a child my great aunts, and it came to tea time, which was incredibly simple, very simple, but nevertheless we all sat down at the table. My hand went forward for a slice of bread and jam, and my aunt's hand came down like a ton of bricks. My hand has never been the same. But I've always remembered that, and I'm very thankful to her. We said our grace before we had the food that my aunt and her sister had prepared for us. Sometimes I meet somebody who is very keen also to say grace with his family, and whether we're in McDonald's or the other week we're in Morrison's, we always say grace before we have our food, regardless of how busy or empty Morrison's or McDonald's are. And the last time in Morrison's, the lovely lady bringing our breakfast actually paused and apologised that she was interrupting our prayer, which was terribly, terribly sweet of her, but it didn't matter. I only share those things because even within this Eucharist and the Eucharistic prayer, we are reminded that Jesus gave thanks for the bread and gave thanks for the wine. So God's provision is something that hopefully prayerfully does touch us, and all we have to do is just, in the simplest of ways, say thank you each day. That would please him. But it also, I do believe, makes the smokies that you'll be enjoying after the service taste that much better.